39 episodes in. We're closing in on tomorrow's 40th episode. Yay. And as the ticker says, comics come tomorrow, so let's hope that happens and nothing horrible happens in the process. And we're still gridlocked in the election. So, last we checked, so we're heading into day 4 of this, which should have been over by now, but mail-in votes are taking forever. And states haven't started, apparently. I don't know. We had apparently so in early so so Miro so okay before so Miro aka Rusev Machka, uh the best man revealed on Talk is Jericho the WWE lambasted for taking trips to the barbers. I'm going away with a soldier surgery. I come back for one match. They make Big Show chokeslam me 4 times, punch me 7 times. Yeah. They're trying to convince me it's for me to protect my character. Come on, man. Like, I'm not stupid. I know, and it's okay. You can tell me because I love Big Show. He put me over when I needed it. I have to put him over. Who cares? I'm not that guy. Just tell me we need 3 choke slams and a punch. 1, 2, 3. Great, I will do it. But yeah, they threw a big stink about my hair. How dare you? How can you? Why didn't you ask? I'm sorry, I'll ask next time. Uh, so, Vince hates tattoos, and Vince hates when they get haircuts. I mean, like, okay, fine. Maybe to some extent I can buy into the idea that, oh, he didn't ask for permission. I get that. But at the same time, unless they're building to a hair versus hair match for something, I don't see any point in complaining about that. I just I don't get this logic that Vince presents. It's just so freaking annoying. And it just wonders the mindset of that guy. Like, this is why like I said, I've said this multiple times, why you will probably never see me make a full-on video discussing and deconstructing Vince McMahon, because I'm pretty sure right when I started, some big scandalous moment comes out, and I was like, well, I have to somehow tie that in, and then it'd be a never-ending story, because when the second I finish tie that in, then something else hops up out of nowhere. So, okay, Rusev also revealed on Talk is Jericho that during his horrendous storyline with Bobby Lashley, because we have to do that, um, he said, I left, I stayed home for 3 or 4 months. I think Paul Heyman called us with that story, and I was like, where is it leading? Of course, because this is my first question, it's not my favorite story, but where is it leading? Main event of WrestleMania, one of the main events of WrestleMania. When you hear that, what are you going to say? Hey, there's plans, and this is September, October, whatever it was, so it's a few months plan, and that's very realistic. Cool, I jumped on board. And the storyline was so hated, and clearly Rusev was clearly uncomfortable with it. And look where we are now. He didn't get the main event like he was promised because Vince hates his guts because America! Some stupid nonsense like that was very ultra patriotic, bordering on fanaticism. But yeah, Rusev got fired, and the fact that this was supposedly going to be one of the main events of WrestleMania, I'm like, no, no, that like like it reminds me of that debacle where Triple H won the Royal Rumble. They were gonna build up to they had Stephanie McMahon with the drama, and he was gonna fight Chris Jericho in the main event for the world title for the Undisputed Championship, and then all of a sudden they add the dog element, and everyone's like, is that really main event match worthy? Like, you have the Undisputed Championship, the biggest prize in the wrestling business, especially at that time in 2002. Why are we bringing a dog in this? Like, Stephanie, I can get. You built that off. But why the dog? Like, even when I was a kid, I was like, What? What? I was confused by bringing the dog in. But yeah, Rusev being basically lied to essentially really was stupid. This whole storyline was just terrible, and they wanted to go ahead and make Rusev be presented as a sex addict, where originally he revealed that they wanted to originally have him be having erectile dysfunction because of course Vince hates that guy's guts. Yeah, main event WrestleMania. Yeah, you should were like, this is actually kind of stupid. Now that I think about it, this actually kind of sounds like bullshit. So tragedy has struck the wrestling world, not in that tragedy, but the Young Bucks have a problem heading into their Full Gear match against FTR. The multi-year long layered story's finally coming, and then they never and now we might have a situation with that. So the Young Bucks were reportedly banged up with the Butcher and Blade after their match, but both teams returned to action soon after, and they've wrestled multiple times over the last 5 months. But Brian Alvarez reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that Matt Jackson has actually been injured ever since the match and is currently dealing with a partially torn MCL and a thinning ACL. This is also why he's been dealing with a storyline ankle injury during the feud with FTR. The story reminds that he has a partially torn an MCL and a thinning ACL, which is considered a slight tear. So that's why they're doing the ankle gimmick, so he has a legitimate injury. I guess he's rehabbing it, and I guess they figured or they could do the match. Apparently happened in the match with the Butcher and the Blade. He remembered that he did the dives off the stage, he did a flying elbow and injured the knee. He's been rehabbing it ever since. Okay. Why? Like, it's the same thing I said regarding, you know, um, Frederick Moss, how he says, I have a tore ACL, it's completely tore off, and I'm still wrestling. Feel proud for me. And I'm like, there's a difference between finishing a match when you're hurt. That's one thing. I can at least commend the effort to try, but this is multiple months where you have admitted that you have torn your body apart, cannot, for some reason, will not take time off, and you're not even doing anything, but you're just sitting at home essentially. So why not just get the surgery and be done with it? I get you don't want to lose paycheck after paycheck, especially when it comes to WWE, but much like Matt Jackson, I'm thinking, yeah, you probably should stop. You're injured, you should call off the match because let's be real, the Young Bucks are put in a dire situation because if they lose them, because especially now with the injury, my best bet would be just to delay it because having the Young Bucks lose because FTR has to retain their titles just to get their big reign going. And however, the Young Bucks need to win because then they'll lose the chance to ever be tag champs, which even Cody said was a bad idea. I'm not sure if this is because and they can't make TNT tag titles for it, no matter how big the tag team division is. So yeah, and also I think it's also for the fact that they could delay the story, wait till Revolution at best if they get the injury if the injury's not serious. But I'm thinking to myself, imagine the quality we could get from this match. 100% healthy, they get to go out and do the biggest match in history of tag team wrestling that people want to see. FTR, F the revival stuff, the Young Bucks, no flips, just fists. This versus monkey style flip flop wrestling, old school versus new school, and it would sell. But now it's run the risk of it could be a great match. It should be a legendary matchup, especially with the years of stuff going on. So, WWE has, their pointless declaration of war against, third parties, which I don't know why. They have too much time on their hands. They're bored. So it was reported that multiple prominent WWE streamers suspended their Twitch channels last week, including Styles, Aleister Black, and Selena Vega, Cesaro, and Yam. This comes after the company emailed basically everyone saying we're taking over your accounts because we're a dictatorship. Sean Ross App, however, reported on Fightful's list and your boy, hey, this is because the NXT talents like Al Cole have continued to stream on their platforms because they are currently exempt from the policy, while NXT talents have continued to be allowed to continue streaming, and main roster superstars are not, is currently unknown. Main roster who like to take it in NXT is exempt for now. I don't know why that is. A report from PW Insider's Mike Johnson previously noted the main rosters tried and failed to convince Vince to change his mind. Johnson also noted that WWE took control of the channels because the company wanted to relaunch its own presence on Twitter before the end of the year and wanted to remove anything that would run opposite of its own strategy. Okay, so what WWE is essentially is, we do not want to compete with you guys because we both know you'll kick our asses. But the exemption of NXT, okay, I'm honestly kind of surprised. Vince hates NXT as much as people like to say otherwise. So why would he let them be exempt from it? In fact, you would think the main roster would be exempt from it, but then they realized, oh wait, they're more popular. So Vince has to be. If I had to guess, this is just me guessing, is that because Vince wants to make NXT look like this great place, that he said, and freedom of choice and greatness and everything, so people tune in to see more of them instead of AEW, because AEW never says anything stupid, right? Okay, actually they have done on several occasions, but what I'm thinking is like, oh god damn it, is what place do you prefer better? The place that actually acts like it cares about the workers, or the place that tries to give you the illusion that it cares, but in reality wants to put shackles on you and whip you in the back because the boss is a moron? And the fact that he's launching their own Twitch channel is like, God damn it. So this is all about, I want to be the top guy, so I will oppress everybody who gets in my way. So, there's been an update on EC3's Impact Wrestling status after he missed the last set of tapings. And these questions around EC3 Impact about his future were raised following the pay-per-view after Fightful Select reporting he missed the last set of tapings that were bound for Glory Weekend. They have since provided an update on the situation and know the former WWE superstar has finished up with Impact for now. If he plans to return to the future for the promotion, and is currently unknown. EC3 isn't taking a break from the wrestling industry as a whole. Well, as recently he debated in ROH and will reportedly be working for the company until at least the end of the year. There's also been talk of another separate project the former top 1% is involved in. So he's he's currently just doing open contract status essentially. I actually don't hate that. I get why he probably doesn't want to be locked down to one place after the last place he went almost killed his career. And by that I mean his pride. But I am wondering one thing though. So will he go to AEW eventually? Because he is awesome. And he has been doing this dark stuff. He's been doing the dark rebirth of EC3. And he's just killing it from what I've heard. So yeah, and the cinematic match they had with EC3 versus Moose was insane, I heard. I'll probably check it out one day. But it is interesting where they go with where they take that. But I'm curious to know what he'll do next in ROH, and where he goes to next. Like I could see him go to New Japan, though at the same time I think if he's doing all these cinematic stuff and all this weird experimental stuff, I get the feeling he's probably going to do AEW eventually and then do New Japan if it comes down to it. So Eddie Kingston, he said, if I had signed with WWE in 2010, I would have been fired in 3 minutes. So, speaking to TSN, Kingston elaborated on this beef with Moxley. I'm not going to forget where I came from. When I go on Twitter and see a guy from the independents doing something different and I'm cool, I'm going to tell people about it. One of my main problems with Mox is that he doesn't use his popularity on social media. doesn't use his popularity or social media with all his followers and everything to put over places that he used to be at and people he used to run with. So I still have that outlaw independent mindset. To me, that's what AEW was built on. That's why think I would be the perfect champion for them. So he's still in character because I have the outlaw spirit, just like AEW executive vice presidents, the Bucks, Kenny Omega and Cody do. They did things their way, and now look where they're at. Would Eddie have sold out the same way Moxley did? Did he if he had signed with WWE a decade ago? No, because knowing me, I would have gotten fired in 3 minutes, and if I went when Mox went. Again, this is why I have a little bit of beef with Mox, because he started playing the game. I probably would have, at that point in time, especially at that age and what was going on in my life, gotten fired in 3 minutes because I wouldn't bent. I wouldn't have bent like he did. Man. Yeah, he was even given an offer earlier this year. Could I imagine a Kingston in WWE? No. And plus, given what they have done recently, I'll be amazed if people who aren't in need of money would go there for the easy paycheck, even though you're basically losing your civil rights, essentially in Vince's world. But yeah, Eddie Kingston's still doing in character. If he really does have beef, that's one thing. But yeah, I get the motive for Eddie Kingston not liking John Moxley in their story, because he's the king of the independents in his eyes, and Moxley was his best friend, and he sold out, went up to other places, didn't give them the credit. He just said, "Life's like I'm taking all the credit. I'm not giving credit to the people who helped make me," and whatnot, and lead to this horrendous vengeance and everything. So look forward to their match. So more content coming to 2K Battlegrounds. Specifically, let's see. Goldberg, aka I will exploit my charity research for a top at the mountain. Because that's certainly what a hero does, right? Use their hard charity work that they've done, and then all the research that goes into what he's done for it, provided, only to use it for personal gain. So yeah, they have announced that Goldberg, Batista, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Ultimate Warrior, Eddie Guerrero, Lita, Trish Stratus, Booker T, and Ruby Riott. They're all coming in the following between November 6th to November 18th. And so on November 6th, we get the first batch. November 11th, we get the 4 batch. And November 18th, we get the 3 batch. So it is interesting where they're going with this, but like, I'm not interested in the game. I'm just not. I'd rather have wished they had not done a game this year and just focused on developing its engine and fixing everything, or fixing it as best as they could, and just instead of just like, oh, we need a game for this year, and we can't do 2K22 because 21 because as because this year sucks, but throw a game together. So yeah, I'm just not interested in this. However, Cody, so it was reported on Wednesday that WWE decided to cancel its trademark on Cody Rhodes because they have to. Ooh, if I had to guess, like I joked, I said like maybe there's a possibility that the reason why Vince gave up the trademark over the Cody Rhodes because certain persons winning in the election, which makes certain people that want a certain position in labor to kind of look into things in their company. So Vince wants to say, I am a saint. I am a saint. So I'll give Cody back his trademark. I am a saint. When in reality, the biggest way to show that you're a saint is that you gave everyone back their third party rights. but that's asking too much for now. Don't worry. If certain people win the election, I'm pretty sure Andrew Yang's gonna come kick his ass. So, Cody announced that he got his trademark back, got his gimmick, his old wrestling name back of the Rhodes Dynasty. So he says it feels following Wednesday's Dynamite, Cody told the live crowd that it feels good to be Cody Rhodes again, and and when asked by WrestleZone during AEW Full Gear media call about using the name, Cody said he's enjoyed being the American Nightmare Cody in wrestling and won't be using the name in wrestling circles. I'm very happy to be Cody Rhodes again. The details of it all aren't important other than it was a very positive, no hard feelings on our side type scenario. It's also because Andrew Yang is going to probably get his job if he gets his way. I will say it's probably something I will probably use. It's not something I would probably use in the wrestling space. I've gotten very used to the American Nightmare Cody. I like how Justin Roberts says, and I just like it. Where I'm very excited about Cody Rhodes being available again is when it comes to third-party ventures and things like the Go Big Show that I took part in TBS. In our wrestling bubble, everyone kind of knows the saga of Cody Rhodes. When you dip your toes into different waters in other worlds, they may not understand and may not need a pre-existing equity or baggage. So it would be nice to tell them what they can credit on the screen and where SAG credits can go. It was a special day, and I'm happy it worked out. So there was an actual mention about how he was going to use the Cody Rhodes name as a way to get around the stipulation he put on himself, where if he lost to Jericho, he could never challenge the title. However, people were saying, "Oh, he said he would not wrestle as the champion as Cody." Never said about Cody Rhodes. However, he said this: "I'm not going to challenge it for it under a different name. I'm not going to be the Midnight Rider. We're not doing that stuff. I gave you my word. I do not want fans to think nepotism is involved or try and put arsenics on my career because I'm in management. I will never challenge for the world championship." Okay, again, I don't believe that's going to be the case. Now, Cody can live up to that, but I do think that eventually, I'm not saying it could be a 1 year. If it lasts for 5 years, I'll be amazed. But I do think eventually, within the next coming year or two, that they'll do a storyline, a beautiful story told storyline, where Cody does get his chance to compete for the world title. I can't imagine Cody never challenging for the title ever again in his career, or at least in AEW. I see him going after world titles and other promotions if they get deals out of them, but to see the idea that he'll never challenge for the AEW world title, it's just hard to imagine, honestly. If they really stick to that canon, to that continuity, I will be kind of amazed. So, WWE has announced a new mobile game, Undefeated. Oh no, we don't care. I mean, how long is that even gonna last? Probably, you think? I give it a week, and then people will forget about it. It's not gonna be as impactful as Supercards was. I only say that because it was on my birthday when it first came out. But like, I just don't think I'll be interested in it. So yeah, they have this coming out in December, I believe. December December 3rd, yeah. It's set to release on December 3rd. It's part of their press release. These pre-registration are open for the ultimate real-time PvP mobile game featuring WWE superstars. Yay. I just generally do not care. I really don't. So, shocking of everyone, Disney's Plus's Loki reportedly renewed for a second season. According to Production Weekly, Loki will reportedly start production in January 2022 on season 2. It's unclear if this is the new renewal or if Loki was ordered at 2 seasons from the get-go. Plot details remain scarce, however, Michael Wardland, showrunner, has confirmed a handful of details. Among these being that the show will be much like Thor Ragnarok, a sci-fi property, and that Loki will have a crisis related to his identity throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe series. I think it's a struggle with identity, who you are, who you want to be. I'm really drawn to the characters who are fighting for control. Certainly when you see that with Loki over the first 10 years of movies, he's out of control at pivotal points of his life. He was adopted and everything that manifested itself through anger and spite towards his family. Except that's not Loki now. Loki's dead. The Loki we're seeing is the 2012 Loki, who had his mind set on basically ruling Midgard, which failed miserably and was captured and escaped in this alternate timeline. But yeah, Loki hasn't even had his first season air yet. In fact, is it still being produced? And now they're saying, look, we're that confident that there will be a season 2. We're Disney. And plus, every time I hear the word reportedly renewed on Disney Plus's own streaming service, I'm thinking, but Disney owns everything on this. So really, they could make us infinite amount of shows if they want. And don't say they don't have the budget. They have the bloated budget they have. Oh man. Just a wild time. The SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run is already streaming internationally, but we'll be waiting until 2021 to find out who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Its name is SpongeBob SquarePants, but I don't care. So, after the third movie was rescheduled, the film was forced to cancel it entirely due to the pandemic. Instead, the studio announced the movie would head for streaming services. Netflix picked up international distribution rights. If you have friends in the UK, Japan, or any other country where the Netflix operates, they can already watch Sponge on the Run. Or if you have a military grade VPN where you could trick the system. I don't know how that. I'm surprised that was not declared illegal. But anyways, here in the US though, Viacom CBS is in charge of distributing the Paramount Animation produced flick. The company plans to put it on their premium video on demand services in early 2021. Once the movie's PVOD period ends, it will move to CBS All Access, recently rebranded as Paramount Plus. So yeah, the director did express disappointment in this movie's strange release timeline because pandemic. We hate the pandemic. We have to live with it for a while. Probably till next year is near the third quarter. So some of the exclusives on the Xbox Series S is actually smaller than the ones for the Series X. X is part of the big promise. So for Gears 5 on Series X is 71.9 gigabytes. On Series S it's 55.1. For Forza Horizon 4, 84.6 gigabytes on Series X. Series S is 71.4. Sea of Thieves, 46 gigabytes. 8 on the Series X, and Series S is 17.2. So, yeah, they have lived up to their promise on that, and this is only their exclusives, and they're not talking about third-party games. So we'll have to see how that works. So like I said, this is probably going to be a case-by-case basis. This is for the developers outside of Microsoft who want to release their consoles on all platforms. So we'll have to see on that. EA reconfirms its next Battlefield game will be coming next year and teases that more details will be revealed in the coming spring. So DICE is creating our next Battlefield game with never before seen scale. Oh yes, like microtransactions, surprise mechanics, and gambling. The technical advancements of the new console are allowing the team to deliver a truly next-gen vision for the franchise. We have hands-on playtesting underway internally. And moreover confirmed that the next Battlefield game will be set to launch in holiday of 2021, and the studio says it will share a lot more about the game in the spring. Yeah, I really do not care. Do not care, EA, because I know there will be microtransactions, and I know you will screw everyone over. Even if certain games don't have loot boxes, you'll find some way to screw them over. Plus, and now that I think about it, I am kind of amazed they held off that. Oh man, we can release it in 2020 and we can make money, especially since everyone's trapped indoors. We can totally make money unlike those Call of Duty scumbags. So yeah, I'm a little surprised they didn't make a Battlefield for this year, given everything. So I'll give them props to that. Also, as part of the exclusive deals, EA will keep making NHL games as it signs new multi-year deal with the league. Yay, diversity sucks, isn't it? So not that it's a surprise, but EA has confirmed it will keep making more NHL games. The publisher signed a new multi-year deal with NHL and its player association to create more games in the future. EA did not confirm the specific duration of the deal and how much it paid the Hockey League for the rights. EA's been in business for 30 years already, and EA Sports' Cam Weber said in a statement, the extension will sure remains at the forefront of connecting millions of fans around the world to the sport through interactive entertainment. And also we might have surprise mechanics on the side. So NHL Chief Brand Officer Brian Jennings said in a statement that the NHL series helps bring new fans to the ice hockey, and added that during COVID-19 lockdown, people turned to EA series to get their hockey fix while the real sports league season was delayed and impacted by the virus. I mean, that's kind of true. Not, I don't know, honestly. But at the same time, it's like they could do that, or they could play the simulations that are not EA microtransaction based. So yeah, NHL 21 launched in October 16th following the delay related to the virus. Another release, NHL 94 Rewind, came out on October 30th and is currently available to those who pre-order NHL 21. Woo. So yeah, yeah, we're gonna be stuck with this for a while unless EA suddenly went bankrupt the next day. Godfall is a PS5 console exclusive until at least May 2021. Gearbox looter shoot slasher Godfall launches on PC on November 12th. A recent launch trailer of Gearbox Publishing's looter slasher Godfall confirms the upcoming action RPG will be exclusive for the PS5 for a 6-month period. Since it launches on the same day as the PS5 comes out in most regions, Sony's next gen console launches worldwide a week later on November 19th. The game will be a PS5 console exclusive until 2021, according to the fine print at the end of the launch trailer. Godfall will still hit Windows PC, but no other consoles have been confirmed. Yeah, no, it is kind of sad when Sony has turned the roles with Microsoft around, where Microsoft's now being the quote good guys for now, and Sony's becoming the greedy scumbags. It's kind of amazing. And this is Randy Pitchford, so get in bed with the greedy scumbag and pathological liar. So yeah, there's that. Capcom has recently come under victim of a cyber attack, says no indication of data being stolen. Capcom issued a statement saying it was a victim of a cyber attack by a third party, and the company confirmed that at this time there is no reason to believe customer data was breached. Capcom stated the attack occurred in the early hours of November 2nd and affected access to certain systems, including email and file servers. Everson have confirmed the third party was responsible for the attack, but has yet to provide any information regarding the third party's identity. As a result of the attack, Capcom says it has halted some operations on its internal networks as of November 2nd. Capcom expressed its deepest regrets for any inconvenience this may have caused to its various stakeholders. Further, it stated that at present there is no indication that any customer information was breached. This incident has not affected connections for playing the company's games online or across various access to various websites. Capcom said it is coordinating with law enforcement and related authorities, as well as carrying out an investigation and working on to restore its systems. IGN reached out for comment, and will update the story if they ever receive any. So yeah, especially after the events with Ubisoft, where the source code, which is a whopping 560 gigabytes of data being leaked, yeah, I get the feeling they should probably. So in a bit of weirdness, Disney has removed 2 upcoming films from its 2020 release schedule. Well, Free Guy and Death of the Nile. Both films were slated to be released sometime in December, but no longer have an official release date attached. So Free Guy is a movie which stars Ryan Reynolds as a video game NPC who gains awareness of his life, was set to release on December 11th. However, because of the weakening and dying theater industry, Disney removed that from the calendar. The same applies to Murder on the Orient Express sequel, Death on the Nile. The murder mystery movie was said to be released on the 18th, but has also been removed from the calendar without a replacement date. So yeah, I'm expecting that to be on Disney Plus. So good luck with that. But situation is really, really bad. Like, oh god, it's so frustrating for a lot of people to see this happen, but we have to make do with what we can. I'm sorry for AMC's current plight, but they're gonna have to find something to do in order to make this work, or have to throw in the towel and fire a whole bunch of people, which I really wish wasn't a route they could do, but they're probably gonna do that. So, Tenet is coming to December, coming to Blu-ray and DVD in December. Pre-orders begin this coming Tuesday. Okay, after a short theatrical run, Tenet will be available for pre-order and digital beginning November 10th, and it will be available to watch on beginning in December 5th, 15th, just in time for the holidays. So, yeah. So they've also made some adjustments about how there's going to be a pricey release of it, from what I heard, like being a lot more pricey than it should be. But given how they need to recoup the costs, since Warner Bros. Banked on this, and yeah, yeah, uh, yeah, I can somewhat get it. I just hope there's a steelbook. So, so, yeah, they found a planet. The scientists have found a planet, which, yeah, they found a planet which they labeled designated K2141b and located 200 light years away from us. The Earth-sized exoplanet is among the most extreme exoplanets scientists have found because there are lava oceans, supersonic winds, and it rains rocks. So they have discovered hell. Hell exists in space. So the people in Event Horizon was completely correct. And also, people are now thinking of Mustafar from Star Wars. Because, yeah, the university explains that the planet's rock vapor atmosphere means it rains rocks. However, scientists do expect the atmosphere and surface to evolve over time. And, and, and people compared it to Star Wars. Yours is Mustafar. Yeah, yeah. They call it a hell planet, so they have essentially found hell. Great, we're fucked. It's only a matter of time. What's next? We're going to witness a planet that comes to life and starts eating things. In fact, this is here, so it's so chaotic. I'm expecting that at this point. And just make my death quick and painless. Or better yet, let me just do it in my sleep. Because if we're going to die in any way possible in horrific ways, I want to do it in my sleep so I don't feel it. So, PS5's solid state drive expandable storage is being reserved for a future update. As reported by The Verge, a Sony spokesperson who has stated that the expandable storage will be reserved for future update, but no further window given. Yeah, why? Just like Microsoft clearly planned ahead, but why? Like Black Ops Cold War will take up 133 gigabytes of space on the PS5. Even Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales and Demon Souls take up 105 and 66 gigabytes respectively. And there was leaked information that Sony's console only has what 625 available data. I mean, you should have thought this through honestly. GameStop cancels employee contests to earn extra Black Friday work hours. So, a company-wide contest that was going to ask players to perform a synchronized TikTok dance in exchange for prizes like extra work hours on Black Friday. Wait, what? Wait. News broke on November 3rd that GameStop had announced a TikTok competition across its stores, and that tasked employees with performing a synchronized dance with their co-workers in exchange for a prize. The prize included an Amazon Echo 8, an Amazon Echo Auto, a $100 Visa gift card, and 10 extra work hours on Black Friday. Wait, what? That is okay, the gift cards and the echoes I get, but if you win, you earn 10 extra hours to work stress day on Black Friday in the pandemic. Who the fuck thought that was a great idea? Oh wait, this is GameStop. They're running out of this, but so yeah, that pissed everyone off. Uh, they were getting hundreds of comments ranging from ew to a new form of low. Yeah, it got posted on their subreddit. Yeah, yeah, you're winning contests to earn extra hours. We're really at this point now in society where the prize is essentially, hey, win this prize and you get to work with us more. And I'm thinking, okay, if the prize was you earn 10 extra hours of pay, that would be exciting if the company was still healthy, but it's not at this point, I've heard. But yeah, I've seen the Reddit posts. Um, Dance Monkey Dance at this stupid company. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. GameStop did not think. Okay, I'm pretty sure they did, but they just were expecting everyone to be cheap. So the Jedi Fallen Order is joining Xbox Game Pass, sort of. So Jedi Fallen Order will become available to EA Play subscribers on November 10th, the same day EA Play is being added to the as a perk for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, meaning that the game will be coming to Xbox Game Pass, sort of. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, that's kind of exciting. Announced by EA, 2019's Fallen Order will be one of the many bonuses of EA Play that both Xbox and Series X and S via backwards compatibility and Xbox One owners subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate will be able to take advantage of. EA Play offers also exclusive game challenges, there's rewards, discounts, member-only content, early trials of new EA games, and instant access to a collection of EA titles with the playlist. For those on PC, members of the Game Pass Ultimate will be able to download the Fallen Order and other EA games on December 10th for PC members. So we get to enjoy that. EA has revealed its full upgrade plans for both consoles. So, uh, yeah, Madden, Squadrons, Apex Legends, FIFA, NFL's Madden, The Sims 4, UFC 4, NHL 21, Need for Speed Hot for Pursuit Remastered. They all either gain upgrades or backwards compatibility. So yeah, I don't really know how to go much into detail about that, but that's where it's ranging at. Activision has announced that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 will be getting a crossover with Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time where Crash themed in-game items, including 9 shirts, 3 hats, and 1 skateboard deck. The first ever crossover between Crash Bandicoot and Tony Hawk will begin tomorrow, November 6th, and arrives as part of a free title update. And there's a short clip. This Crash content is part of a bigger update that will also bring Birdman pack, and that is befitting in the skate park project. This pack includes classic and additional boards from Birdhouse and Powwow Pareshla, and a new TSP deck that created specifically for Cherry. This limited time created Skater 10 deck bundle will be available for $4.99, and 100% of Activision's net proceeds will help support the construction of public skate park for the youth of undeserved communities. Furthermore, players will be able to replay tour modes with individual skaters, allowing them to max out stats for their favorite characters. As the Star Beach solo tour, all goals and medals will be reset, and the current tours mode will move to crew tour, so previous progress will not be lost. There will also be new objectives in multiplayer. Create a par combo practice, better randomization for multiplayer playlists, lists in both James competitive modes, and 3 winners from a created deck contest will have their creation in-game for all to use. Yeah. So yeah, they're playing big stuff. I don't even remember if I played it. I kind of forget. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie writer Bobby Herbeck wants to see the heroes in a half shell return to their roots for an updated sequel to the original 1990s trilogy. In an interview with comicbook.com, the writer who co-wrote the original 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie revealed that he would love to see the sewer-dwelling reptiles come up above the ground again, and for an all-new sequel that would revisit the world of the OG while utilizing all the latest technologies in Creature Shop. Jim Henson. When asked whether he would be interested in developing a Halloween or Bill and Ted style 20 years later entry to the franchise, he said, yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, we're trying to make that happen. We want to do a reboot. We got our fans to come with us on Instagram. They're saying, why don't you guys do a reboot of the first movie? We love to do that. The original movie producer, Kim Dawson, also shared her enthusiasm for a potential sequel as she admitted that they had been in talks with Steve Barron, the director of the original movie, as well as Brian Henson, the son of late Jim Henson, chief puppeteer of the first film, over the prospect of returning to the franchise all these years later. The truth is, this property, it's established now after 30 years as part of our modern pop culture. It's not going away. It's only going to continue to grow. I do wish we could go back. I mean, we talked to Steve Barron about this and Brian Henson, and if there was an opportunity, if one of the studios saw fit, I think we could go back and reboot it like it was. Imagine if Brian Henson had access to the technology he does today, to make these creatures and all that. It would be amazing. A reboot like that, I think, would get really people's juices flowing. So at least it would be hopefully a lot better than the Michael Bay turtles we got. I mean, God, those designs was creepy. Now, last but not least, we got bullshit news. PlayStation 5 will not be sold in physical stores on launch day. Sony has confirmed that PS5 launch day sales will only be online only this year, meaning that there will be no physical units on launch day on November 12, 2020. Revealed on PlayStation.blog, Sony has made a decision in the interest of keeping our gamers, retailers, and staff safe amongst COVID to confirm that the all-day launch sales will be conducted through the online stores of our retail partners. That means no units will be available in store for purchase on launch day. So Sony asks that people please don't plan on camping out or lining up at your local retailer on launch day in hopes of finding a console for purchase. So yeah, they have at least a good reason not to do it. But this is kind of a gamble because they could lose some money on this because not everyone who buys a console will pre-ordered it. But nice to say safe, nice to be more safely secure instead of risk everything. So that's all about the news we got in the pop culture world for Thursday. Tune in tomorrow where hopefully I get my comics coming in tomorrow, and then I'll get next week's comics as well in the following week. But we have one last piece of news before we close out. Still 264 against Trump's 214. Okay. So this was Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News Talk, episode 39. See you next time tomorrow on Friday for episode 40. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to for more. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Take care, everyone.